Alright, hello, welcome to another Reality Check VR video. We are in another Gunters universe episode, and I am getting ready to get started here. We just did our mic check, and I think they're talking right now, so let's jump in and see what's going on. Hello.
Incoming show, hold on to your butt.
Don't hold on to your butt.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Psych. Hold on. Well, I hope. Let's see.
VRChat, the next frontier. These are the experiences from Gunters' universe. His continuing mission? To seek out and connect with VR devs and passionate enthusiasts. To discuss theories, beliefs, and rhetoric of all kind. And to boldly go where no show has ever gone before.
We are here about to do another Reality Check episode with
Woohoo! Alright everyone! It is go time. It's time for another episode of Gunters Universe. I welcome you all, and thank you for coming out tonight. It is June the 23rd, and this is episode number 12. Got a bunch of people here with me. Yep. How is everyone?
Sweet. Pretty good, pretty good.
Doing great.
Yep. Excellent. So we got a great show. We have an amazing guest. We're going to have stimulating discussion, and I'm here, your host, your humbled host, Gunter.
I'm doing
Let's
good.
get this party started.
Woohoo!
With me tonight, I have three fantastic guests to talk about flight-related games, Oculus launch titles and Toy Box, also some of the Morpheus games that we've seen lately, a really cool game called Meltdown that's on Steam, and Crytek. Our first guest tonight, on my right, is the developer of Faceted Flight, a flying VR game that's in the works. It's a cross between Star Fox and Pilot Wings. How are you doing, Matt?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Gunter?
Adam J, I love how he...
Excellent, excited. Glad you could come on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is cool.
So I want to show your trailer and talk to you just a little bit. Give me one moment to boot that up.
I can't see or hear Matt.
Hello.
The best thing you can do if those sorts of issues happen is to rejoin. It's pretty much the only superpower we have here to deal with problems in the metaverse. I have my hands tied normally. See, I'm going to click this thing here, see if it works.
It's working, yes. Oh, somatic bruise.
Can everyone
nice.
see and hear the video?
No sound,
One of our favorite demos for DK2. I can hear everything, yeah.
I can see
Sound
and hear it, yeah.
You might need to
Oh,
download
not a
Flash,
sound code.
buddy.
I can hear.
Right on. So, Matt, this is a really rad game you got going on. I checked it out, really enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of flight games, and I love your aesthetic. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration for this.
Nice, thanks. I was really inspired by games like X-Wing. When I first put on my Oculus Rift DK2, really one of the first things I wanted to do was go off and make an X-Wing VR game. And as time went on, saw a lot of people were doing space games. And what I was really doing a lot of in Unity was making these huge terrains and flying around. It was just a lot of fun to like go around mountains and valleys and canyons, stuff like that. And so I just kept going with it. Faceted Flight, the aesthetic is actually kind of funny.
Hey,
I
that's me
upgraded
playing Ark.
to an Oculus SDK.
Next video started.
But anyways, I was set to demo this flight game that I was working on, and I upgraded to an Oculus SDK the day before I was making my build, or the build was due, and that broke everything, totally broke perf and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my only option was basically to go with this really stylized, abstract sort of aesthetic. That's the only thing that would run really fast for my really broken SDK. And the people that played it just absolutely fell in love with it. And for me, it was a lot of fun to make because I'm in love with games. Like for me, like back in the early Sega Saturn days or stuff like that, like Virtua Fighter, that was the future of video games to me as a kid. And it's really fun because like now I see virtual reality as like the future of entertainment.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just like, it's kind of fun to revisit that old aesthetic. It's something that I love. and VR is something that's really close to my heart too. So it's a lot of fun to combine that, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up like the Sega Saturn or Sega CD. Those were like the future consoles that I couldn't afford, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, totally. It was, I mean, like up until we got those early 3D consoles.
I had a
arcade
Sega CD.
games, I mean, it was just sprites, right? And for me, it just, for some reason, the
Yep.
transition to real-time polygons and stuff, it just like blew my mind, right? Like I was like, I don't know, 8 or 10 back then, so like I was just like, oh my god, this is so awesome. It's real. Now you look back, it's like, it's not real at all, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see him
Yep,
over
yep.
there?
So
That's awesome.
what are your thoughts on simulator sickness? When I play your game, I don't get sick, but are you concerned about that? I think you having you're piloting a vehicle helps with that. What are your thoughts?
So simulator sickness is something I had to deal with really early on. My wife, I want her to play my games, right? It's like your significant other. It's like I spend all my time making these games. I want to share it with her, and she could not play any games when she'd put the Rift on. She would get sick almost instantly, and so for me it was a battle to build something that she could actually play, you know. And really like once like I would build something, get it to where I thought it was cool, then get her to play test it, and she'd get sick almost instantly, or like the first time she did a barrel roll, stuff like that. And I really had to work on figuring out like how to make that as smooth as possible, and how to let people have this really active VR experience without getting sick. It's something I've spent a lot of time trying to do. Before I went indie, I was an animator, and I worked at places like Valve and Oddworld, and I spent a lot of my time just focused on motion.
That cat's
And
looking
I
right
feel
at
like
me.
a lot of that background helped out in trying to make something that feels really like fluid and still feels nice, but also doesn't really get you sick.
I like don't even notice those things.
The
like-
most I'm trying to elicit with Faceted Flight is kind of like a roller coaster, like tummy tickling experience, right? Like the days of somebody having to pull the headset off because they're sick, those are long gone for me. I've worked that through a long time ago. It's something that I think is just absolutely important for all VR developers, though, right? It's like it's a cardinal sin if you put out a game and it gets people sick, and it's something that really we haven't had to deal with a lot in
Right,
video
totally.
game development until VR. So it's been an interesting challenge.
And before I move on to our other two guests, I just want to finish up by talking about your Kickstarter. What's the state of your Kickstarter and your goals there?
The state of the Kickstarter is that it needs everybody's help, please. If we have a fairly modest goal in terms of like an actual game budget. We're asking for 50,000. We have about 9,000, just over 9,000 raised so far, and we only have I guess starting tomorrow 9 days left.
Oh boy.
So it's looking fairly grim for the Kickstarter, but if you go play our demo, I've actually updated our demo from the first one I released back for the Kickstarter.
I need to play it
There's
again.
a lot of feedback I got from that I wanted to roll into an update.
I need to play it again.
Also, I updated the demo because there's a lot of people who don't have VR headsets, and I was VR exclusive when the Kickstarter launched. And there's a ton of feedback from people that are like, hey, I'd love to play this, but I don't have a headset, and I'm probably not going to get one for a long time, right? And so it's like hard to back that.
Right.
I've really been trying to work on kind of fixing those problems. So yeah, like I've updated the demos. I've got one exciting announcement coming up later this week, maybe early next week. And then I'm also getting the demo up on Steam. So it's going to be a lot easier to update it now, either to add new features or fix bugs and stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah, everybody go back Faceted Flight. Let's make that happen. And what's your Twitter? I imagine your announcement that's coming out will be broadcast on your Twitter account.
Yeah, the Twitter is @FacetedFlight, or if you want to follow me, I'm MattScott on Twitter. But yeah, we'll be announcing it both on Twitter. You can join our mailing list, the Flight Club. Everything goes out to those guys first. So if you want to hear stuff first, go sign up for that.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to Flight Club.
Awesome. In front of me, I have another great guest, an epic YouTuber.
No. Stop it.
RealityCheckVR on
Stop it.
YouTube, and you're epic. Especially the best video I ever had was when you showed up here randomly, not knowing what was going on in this space. That was awesome.
That was certainly one
Yeah,
of my
welcome to the show, dude.
more epic memories. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm glad to be here again. Happy to sit at the table. Always a good experience here, and always fun to see what you guys have to offer as far as not only development talks, but just to see who's on the show. And of course, MattScott, thanks for being here, man. It's good to see you again. I saw him in Converge just a few days ago, and that was also pretty sweet. So it's just really nice to.
Yeah,
it's just.
It's great. I've been running into people from just from all over the internet, running into them in these VR chat rooms. It's so cool. Yeah.
I know.
It's great
It's like,
seeing you again too, man.
Thanks. It's like you said. I think it's really cool that we can actually kind of meet with each other, because obviously we all live far apart, and here we are together again. I have memories of being in this room. It feels like another little piece of home right now. So, like I said, happy to be here, and always going to keep coming back.
Right on. Yeah, I love the Converge folks over there. Sean and Hayden are really running a great gig, and hopefully I'll have them on the show soon. But Reality Check, Caleb, what you been playing lately?
Oh boy, I've got actually a lot of videos I need to get up. I've got probably about a dozen videos, honestly, that I need to put up there. But lately I've been stuck on the Subnautica and the Ark Survival Evolved, which you can see up there. That game is just really cool. I went and saw Jurassic Park with my wife the other day, and we just couldn't help but want to get in this game and actually walk around and see the dinosaurs for ourselves. And this does a great job of actually showing you. The textures are so real, and they really, the hair on my skin was up. I mean, when I played this game, I couldn't help but be extremely frightened. And I know where I'm at. I know I'm at home. It doesn't matter. So here I thought I would escape from the Stegosaurus by going in the water, right? And I'm like trying to figure out what these little gray dots are. I'm like, what are those little gray dots? And then I realized they're sharks. You know, when your brain does that thing and it tells you, you're like, you can go this fast, and those things, they're going that fast, and uh-oh, that's not good. I made it out.
Yeah, it's giving me chills. I don't like that.
That was my...
I really like that. Yeah, I really want to play this. I didn't pick it up during the summer sale, so now I'm disappointed.
Yeah, no, that one's a
awesome.
fun one. I've been hanging out a lot with Immersive Gamer 83, pretty neat productions, as well as VR Gaming Evolved, and those guys, they're just really good.
Next video.
They're really good at getting just different elements put together. Oh, Gunter's gone. Well, I'll just continue as I was saying.
Everybody got booted.
Oh no. Should I continue?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
Don't worry, everyone.
I know when I talk it can be kind of annoying.
Lead me to
Okay?
victory.
What do we all crash?
Sometimes when I talk, people
Dang,
leave.
that's
It
like
just
a
happens.
big crash. And we get to enjoy your beautiful face up there, Nick.
Oh, how perfect.
Nice.
I love looking at myself.
Nice.
I know, right? You're gonna hate this, but I had to show. I wanted everybody to see you. You're such a hunk, dude.
What a majestic beard.
I wish I could grow one of those.
I'm sad that I didn't get to hang out with you at SVVR, man.
Me too, man. Like, I wish you were there. Like, a lot of people didn't make it that I was hoping to see.
Yeah, I should have totally just made it. I should have made it happen. You know, you can always make things happen, one way or another. Sell my body, whatever I have to do.
And then the game crashed.
You have 2 kidneys after all. You could get rid of one.
Oh, I already did that a long time ago. So, Kenny, how's things on your end before we... Whoop, we lost Matt too. Bummer.
Things are good. I'm back in the
Still
camera
streaming.
position, and camera's still working.
This dude is checking me out. Help me.
Let me check this stream here. See if there's people there.
Go away, you creep.
Oh, there's like 100 people in the stream.
Awesome.
Nice.
Not. I'm lying.
Oh.
This is our first stream. I guess I'm virtually incorrect. I used to get 30 or 40. I think there was 50 at once, so that's what my goal is, to get back up to that. So am I not seeing everybody? Because I only see like 7 of us. Probably should come back in. Onion Burst, what's up, dude? Protect me, Matt. Alright, I'm gonna come right back just in case.
Hungry.
Well, I'm just gonna hang out here. Oh, shit. 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 Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I just got kicked too. Aww. Poor Gunter. Poor Gunter in his episodes.
.tv/Gunter444.
Come back. Scooby Doo, you're gonna have yourself Scooby Snare. Oh, mother effer. It's not in my headset. Have a Scooby snack.
I can't
That's
even
a
watch my shows. I
fact.
can't hear my voice.
Scooby Doo Doo, where are you? You've got some work to do now. Scooby Doo Doo.
Well, I don't edit, and I didn't get over it, but also editing takes a lot of time, and I spend a lot of time finding guests, booking guests, herding cats, things like that. So with the whole streaming thing, that's gonna it's gonna be huge because the camera angles will cut. Be interesting if we don't bust.
I know it's the wrong
most
tempo.
of the shows
It's
it's
the
been
wrong tempo.
just like me once or twice having to come back in. You see a couple guests, not guests, but the audience that happened to. Nothing like this. This is extremely messed up. But yeah.
This happened every time I've been in here.
But not like this.
I'm
you
joking.
know, not
I'm
this
joking.
mass.
I'm joking. It's never happened. Never
Oh.
happened.
Yeah, not like this. This is sad.
No, I've never actually gotten kicked out before. I've had to respawn only because my body falls off my head, but that's you know, my own issues, I guess. I need to just hold myself together better.
I don't know if the camera
Still
icon's
don't
showing
see or
up.
hear him.
I'm right behind you.
Oh yeah, he's here.
If you turn around.
Okay, I'm gonna restart then.
I somewhat feel like we live in Harry Potter land because there's that cat that's always around.
I don't trust it.
Filch's cat.
Yeah, it's the. Oh my God, it's got a frick. Okay, now I know.
Gunter was
There we go.
on in this room.
Like it's
Cool.
a.
Yeah, I saw it
person.
cast a spell earlier.
Oh my God, see.
Meow.
Part 2 is starting now. Part 2. All right. Hopefully we can get this thing going.
Was he all
Oh my
set
God.
and got kicked? Oh man.
Oh my God. There was just 2 good things that happened there. Not only the irony of Gunter leaving, but the fact that the cat had little hearts coming from it. Come on, guys. Come on. Oh, somebody pet
How
it.
do I do that?
Hold on. I'm gonna pet it. I'm gonna pet it.
Ay 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 ay.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so I can't see reality check unless he's not here.
He's
Yeah,
playing with
everyone
the
seems
kitty
to be
cat.
at the spawn for me.
Oh, dude.
At least some.
Yeah, he's just right here.
I can't.
I'm fixated on the stupid button I gotta hit. That's so difficult.
I wish I could bend over to touch the cat.
What scripts are you using in this room? Because that happened to me in another room using custom scripts for.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I can
I don't
kind
think that'd be
keep
related.
tabs on. Yeah, I mean, I've been jumping around from different views, no issues at all, no lag or anything.
Oh, that's
so-
creepy.
That is so awesome.
I'm sorry. He's beautiful. He's just. I love him. Oh,
So creepy.
Простите, comrade. God, there's a little kid. It's okay, little buddy.
Alright, let's take
It's okay.
take. Places, everyone. Let's try it
Evolve is
again.
back. Evolve is
From
back.
the top.
Okay, sorry. Oh, that's kind of creepy.
Oh no.
Gunters, are we
Oh,
staying in this
shiitake
room?
mushrooms. We may have to call it and just go have fun.
Yup.
Okay.
Maybe
Come
we
on.
should change to another map, another version of Gunters Universe.
You're too
Well,
short.
I just created this one today. It's the same file. So yeah, it's just another. I'm iterating on the number just because before like I had a problem with the video playing, so I thought, well, I'll just rename it room here. So I'm not sure, but yeah, maybe you should just go ahead and do it anyways.
So cute.
And created a new room.
I can
But
use
you're
my...
using a DLL file as well.
No, no.
Oh, okay. That's...
Well, let's do this. Let's see how long we last. What the? Places, everyone. Everybody, just calm down. It's okay.
I can't put my other hand on my
Talk about
leg, so I'll just put them both on this one leg. Hopefully I don't look girly.
Duke
stream's working.
cannot look girly. Impossible. Okay, cool. Talking with Reality Check, and
Part
we
7.
checked this video out, and thanks for being watching from home show. Really appreciate it. And now let's talk to Patsy Coconut, Nick Laporte, who is the host of PureVR. Is This Real Life podcast? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's really awesome to be back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And so, what you been doing? What have you been talking about in your last episode?
Well, the last episode was actually a few weeks ago. We took this last week off. So really, I've just been spending my time getting deep into the Gear VR and checking out some new demos that have been coming up on the share.
Yeah, I haven't checked out much gear lately. What are you recommending? What are you checking out? What do you like?
The game I've spent the most time in has to be Hero Bound Spirit Champion. That game is just so much fun. That's actually a company who's creating that one Oculus demo that's out right now that they're showing off at E3. I can't remember the name of it. Does anybody know what it is?
We're going to talk
It's
about
like
it.
Chrono something, right?
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Yeah, Chrono.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just this wicked dungeon crawler, and you get that fixed position in each dungeon,
Right.
and it just feels comfortable to just run around and beat the hell out of monsters. It's just a ton of fun.
That one...
So I suck real bad because I have a gear, and I didn't buy the Bluetooth controller yet, and now I'm traveling around a little bit and just can't get it sent to me right at this moment. Afraid something's gonna happen, and haven't been able to play that. Unfortunately, I keep hearing about it, and it's a little sad, but I'll pick it up soon.
Yeah, I gotta get around to that. What I do recommend is the Moga Pro controller. That's the one I bought instead of the Samsung controller, and I am just in love with it. Not even just for
Right,
Gear
yep.
VR, but also to just put my phone on to the controller. I can play like N64 games or whatever I want to play. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah. Didn't even think about the emulators. That's totally what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one I have in
available
my
for
wish
everything.
list, my shopping cart, which is waiting for me to purchase.
Kill it.
So
Oh my
we talked a little
God.
bit also that you are
That's
playing Meltdown,
amazing.
a game that's on Steam right now.
Yeah, Meltdown popped up on the subreddit a few weeks ago, and I watched the video, I checked out the page, I
Scripto
didn't
and
buy it
Mr.
yet,
Q.
but I did notice it's half price, and I think right now it's half price. It's like $3 or something. And what happened was the other night I was online with Brandon, who's the other half of the PureVR, and we noticed that a couple guys from the Left-Handed VR podcast were playing Meltdown, so we're like, hey, let's buy it. We know it's multiplayer. Let's get into it. So ever since then, that was like 4 days ago, I've just been obsessed with this game, just deep into it every single day. It's a top-down, third-person kind of scrolling game where you're shooting robots, and that's what you do. And you collect loot from them. It's just so much fun.
Actually, I have a video. Let's take a quick look at that. Or actually, I got this video of you. I want everybody to see your beautiful face, and this is one of your latest videos on YouTube from the SVVR conference.
It has to be somewhat old because he's shaved now.
They are showing off
Yep, I got you. Yep.
Dry engine, yes. And it was fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Sure. So the CryEngine used by Crytek to create our games. We've made Far Cry, Crysis 1, Crysis 2, Crysis 3. We did Rise: Son of Rome, which was a release product for Xbox One, and we do arguably the most high density, most beautiful, most graphic scenes in gaming.
So we're going to talk about Crytek towards the end of the show. How was SVVR? How was that experience?
Man, SVVR was eye-opening. I met a lot of people there that I've known for a long time in VR, so that was really exciting to see people in person who I haven't seen before or met before in person. That was really exciting. But moreover, the whole conference was just fantastic, just to see all of the different tech that's out there and have that hands-on immediately was just so cool. I loved that. Is Gunter still with us?
I don't know. Yeah, he's here.
There he is.
We made some mistakes.
This looks amazing right here.
I'm back. I'm here now. Yeah.
Like that, it's just amazing.
So what that was with the Crytek demo, they're working on CryEngine with the VR support, and what he was saying is that they actually had a few Crescent Bay units to develop on. They didn't have them to demo, they just had the DK2, but the experience was actually very interesting. The dinosaurs, the T-Rex, it just scared the shit out of me.
And that'll be fine. And it was really cool. It ran really fast. And
Yeah, and we saw on the subreddit recently that Crytek said if you want to be relevant in 4 years in game development, that you have to have a VR solution. I find that very interesting that they're putting that statement out there.
Yeah.
To see a company come out there who's been around for a long time, who've proved their point as developers. They've made great engines, great games. So to see them do that is really exciting, and I think that's going to speak loud for the entire gaming community and tech community as a whole.
Getting virtual reality sickness, similar to motion sickness.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're working on an exploration experience. What's the name of that?
The higher spec type of games.
Yeah. Oh, The Journey. Robinson: The Journey. And so people that were reporting that it's a, quite a polished-looking experience title. So it's great that we see that we're seeing this sort of level of AAA studio sort of thing, a Crytek engine. That's pretty fantastic. So let's slide over quickly to Meltdown video. Just watch that real quick since we were talking about that.
For sure. By the way, if anybody wants to check out any more SVVR videos, we got some interesting ones there at PureVR on YouTube.
You said PureVR?
Yep.
Nice. I'll definitely check that out.
Thanks, man.
And so, PureVR is your YouTube channel, and then Is This Real Life is your podcast, correct?
You got it.
So this is Meltdown. I played this a little bit. I bought it. I haven't played it with you guys. I haven't played multiplayer. This is awesome. Yeah, it went up to $6 now, so big deal. $6 is nothing. And it reminds me of like Smash TV, sort of some StarCraft in there, and you look like Rambo.
Yeah, and the music just makes it. I'm a big fan of the techno overlay.
Right? And they made him blonde. Woohoo!
Yeah, when you're kicking ass like that.
Yeah, and it actually gets quite challenging as you get to the further missions up in the 30 area. Some of the enemies are quite annoying. The sniper is just a bitch.
So rad.
Yeah, so a funny thing is, obviously this game isn't just for VR. You could play it on a screen. You can also play it for a tablet. Now, I did try it with both. And I have to say, playing it in VR is much better than playing it on the screen. Having the option to look around freely at what's coming in what direction is fantastic. Because when you play on the screen, it's in a fixed location. Your camera only moves when you move. And it feels restricting. +1 for VR.
Yeah, I love the whole miniature look that it gets in VR too. Like on the screen, like just as a regular monovision game, it doesn't look like it's like the miniature look, but when you're playing in VR, it's just awesome,
Yeah, it's like Blaze Rush.
Exactly.
Reminds me of that.
Yeah, or Toy Box
Killer as well, multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay,
second
so
that.
let's jump
Wait, real
into...
quick, has anybody here played Lucky's
Yep.
Lucky's Tale? Is that the name of that game?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
tried it.
That's the name of it. No.
Say, because
Yeah, I'm
Tell us about
fortunate
it.
enough to be in Dallas, and they're close by too. So they came by the Dallas VR meetup. I think the last meetup that we had, and so yeah, I got to try it out on a Crescent Day. It's very, very cool.
Nice, man. No, that's awesome to hear. Like you're saying, those 2D games, I think that they're probably one of the ones I'm actually looking forward to the most. I mean, we're all used to being
Okay, let's
bodies, but whoa, what's up, man? Are we? Oh, Gunter.
Oh no.
Oh, Gunter. Oh, Gunter.
Hey, gang. It's Norm from Tested. Norman Chan. We're
Tested.
I love Tested.
CV, Oculus.
Tested.
This is it. And the Oculus Touch. You have
So I enjoyed watching this tested video,
I'm going to interview Nate.
and we're going to skip around in it a bit and
Stay tuned.
talk a little bit about
All right, guys.
specifically the games that they reference.
At Oculus, and he's holding basically the engineering sample of CV1, the Oculus Rift. This is so exciting, Nate. How are you feeling?
Super exciting time. We're really
Crashing.
E3 2015 showing off
Oh, Gunter.
consumer Rift that people are going to be getting their hands on. In
We are
real
now
life.
super busted again. Oh, nope, you're all there. It's all me. Good.
Right away. Let's start off.
I'm
with
good.
what
I'm
you
good.
can see on the inside. I know you guys have written blog
Yes,
posts,
tested. So I want to talk specifically about the games that they mentioned. So talked a lot about hardware in previous shows. Now let's talk about software. So I got some timestamps that I want to pull up.
Screens that are what resolution?
So it's 2160 by 1200 split over 2 eyes, and they are running at 90 frames a second for that full low persistence experience.
Right. And these are OLED screens, so they kind of flicker at a high. But and I'm
Man.
using multiple fingers. I'm
Beautiful.
grabbing, pinch.
It lets you basically when you push the grabbing button, that gives you collision detection on your hands.
Yep.
At which point you can interact with the world around you. If you want to pick something up, you grab it with the collision button and then trigger.
A little bit of a learning curve with that. It took me like 15 seconds just because when I want to grab something, I'm grabbing it normally, you know, like this. But, and I'm using multiple fingers, I'm grabbing, pinching like that. If I'm grabbing in the game, it's more like a hand grab, like holding something. So I'm like grabbing like that.
That was a layer of abstraction that for me took a couple minutes to get over to the point that I didn't have to actively think about it. And by the end of the demo, it was completely
want
without
to
thought.
kill.
What, that interview was 10 minutes long probably. So after 10 minutes, I felt very comfortable in the same way that I did with the Valve stuff that we saw at GDC.
Now they're very aware of keeping.
I don't think I have my timestamp where I want it either, but really
really
want to talk about hear about Toy Box.
A lot.
Is it inductive charging, or did they say?
They did not say anything about that, confirm anything about that. They did
So you guys know about the Toy Box stuff that I'm referring to?
So we gotta talk about it being a multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
Little
Room,
multiplayer demos.
Yep.
No, I don't.
In the real world,
No.
it could be someone across the country, across the world.
Yeah, so with these touch controllers, when you try them out at E3, folks were able to play with some tools, with some little mini games that show off how touch works in VR. And it's a multiplayer experience. Two people are in the environment, and they have all these little toys that they can play with, such as a Roman candle. So in one hand you can flick open a Zippo, and with your other hand you can light the Roman candle and have fireworks in VR. You can also hand it to somebody. Yeah, I was really digging the idea of like idea of, you know, handshaking or something would be awkward, but handing somebody something is less awkward. You know, they can grab the other end of the Roman candlestick and something like that.
I did almost smash the prototype controllers together when I had two things in my hand. I wanted to see what happened when I smashed them.
Yeah.
They had. Did you do the bit with the ray guns?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Shooting the ray
you
guns.
pick up two ray guns, and it's just.
Yeah, here we go.
It's awesome. Super fun.
You can look down the barrel, doing boxing gloves, robot gloves.
Oh, I didn't get to do the
it's a
boxing
very
gloves.
natural action, just to box
Picked
in
up a
midair.
puppet and could puppeteer with the trigger,
Slingshot?
the thumbsticks.
Puppeteering, it's badass.
Flicking the
Yeah, that one
lighter
sounds
with
a
the
lot of fun.
thumbstick. Super real.
Yeah.
Like those experiences, once you abstract the grabbing and finger control, a whole lot of stuff becomes possible. You can even do things like take your finger off of the trigger and close the grip to make your collision stuff turn on, and then push something across the surface just like you would in the real world. It's pretty amazing.
I mean, we've used HTC Vive, which has similar control.
So yeah, all these little demos, Yeah, Nick, you've heard of Toy Box, and tell me your thoughts on it.
Well, it is just demos, right?
Wow.
And it's not something I've had the chance to try, so for me it's just kind of speculation from the outside. However, I think it's really interesting to see them succeed and have these huge impressions because everybody who's tried it is blown away. And that just makes me want to try it more. I'm really excited for it, you know? But
Dukelicious.
what else can I say about it? It's something
I'm
I think
Duke
I need to
Nukem,
try.
not you, Dukelicious.
It's like VR in the first place. You need to try VR. I think I need to try this to really have a good impression and a real good opinion about it.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with that. I've seen quite a bit, a number of videos. Olivier, our good friend, he did a Periscope and really talked in depth about it. And I was getting very excited. You know, a lot of the things that they were talking about, using these ray guns, and one person would shoot the other, which would turn them into a tiny avatar. You know, just little ideas like that. The tetherball. Matt, what do you think about Toy Box?
So now my wife's gonna have to hear me say, "Dear, I'm gonna go play with my toy box." Great. Just great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm ready for it. Guys, I gotta get home from work. I need to go play in my toy box.
How developers are using the
camera.
glasses,
How camera control works.
Exactly.
Like if you think back to Mario 64, when they figured out camera control by putting on the C buttons on that weird N64 controller, that was a real turning point. Even though that camera is super janky by today's standards, it made 3D platforms possible. They're still figuring out, like developers are still figuring out how the cameras should work in these games.
Chronos, which is another third-person action game made by the people who developed Hero Bound, fixed camera. Every time you enter a room in the dungeon, your
Oh.
Also how you describe it when we say have any way of.
Oh, he's still controlling the videos.
What's going on here? Right now, you have started out on top of this.
So you guys should really just make fun of me when I'm gone.
No,
when I pop out, just start saying bad things about me.
Need a little volume on the video.
Oh, I did just see this recently.
I actually tried this.
Okay, there we go. Thanks, Kenny.
Did
No
you?
problem.
Does it feel pretty good?
I can tell you right when you step into the cave, it's an amazing experience.
Really?
The cave.
Yeah, I was thinking that looked pretty terrifying, and you know, when you're surrounded in darkness like that, yeah, I was specifically thinking that looked awesome. What else about it?
I don't know. Just the whole experience was really.
And this is Dave Styles talking.
Yeah. I tried it. Yeah, the cave for me, like as soon as I stepped into the cave, it was like putting on the DK2 for the first time. Same type of experience.
That's nice, man. I like it when it's kind of dark. Anytime it's kind of moody like that, the experiences are really cool. It reminds me of like a Lara Croft, almost Prince of Persia mixture, but not.
And at the beginning of the game, when you start jumping around on the ice blocks, it starts to snow, and the snow on a CV1 looks really realistic.
Yeah, I like that. You know, we have a snow environment, and then you go into a cave. You know, so it's bright light to dark light. You know, that shows off. You know, the various different lighting that you would see now. I wonder what the screen door effect is still. So did you notice screen door when you were trying it?
Outside I did. It wasn't as bad as the DK2. I would say it's about double. It's like twice as good. You know, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
When I got into the cave, I almost didn't notice it at all.
Yep. So third-person title. At first I was like, why aren't we seeing first-person games, you know, during the press release? You guys feel the same, or are you just excited about these third-person
Well, third person is a lot more comfortable for most people, right? That's what I've seen. Like it's a lot harder to get sim sickness. Like when you're moving around in first person, like even here, like I've done a lot of VR stuff, but kind of navigating in here, I get a little queasy sometimes. Where it's a lot smoother in third person, kind of like Meltdown, right? Like they have a pretty smooth camera and it's nice, and it doesn't really get you sick. And I mean, it looks like that's what they really focused on, is a really comfortable experience.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think that's the case.
Here's another third-person title as well.
Yes, this is Chronos, the one I was trying to mention. I
wow.
forgot the name.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I'm in love with this.
Yeah,
one.
it makes sense, and they're also launching with the gamepad, right? Touch isn't launching with CV1, so I started feeling like, well, I guess this makes sense. A gamepad and third-person view games go hand in hand. Well, sort of. Or rather, first-person titles I think will work better with the Oculus Touch, and I'm thinking that we'll see more information or hear more about first-person titles as Oculus Touch becomes closer and we know more about it. So yeah, rad.
I'm really interested to see how like Riggs plays. I saw a lot of people that played that. They're like, this is a really comfortable first-person experience where I'm like running around at crazy speeds and stuff. I want to see how they're doing that, like how that works out, you know.
Yeah, I got a video of that as well. I wanted to slide on over to the Morpheus and take a look at some of the titles that we've seen at E3. This isn't the best video. It's the only gameplay I could find. The trailer's pretty cool and all, but it's quite a bit exaggerated. I'm not sure how well this is showing up in the screen here on the set.
The video is paused for me.
I can see it.
It's interesting. It almost
the video
looks
is
like
paused.
there's a cockpit in there.
On the test.
Right, kind of like the mech assault type thing.
Yeah,
Let me resync it.
Yeah, I do have to say, Matt, I'm sure you actually know from being in development with Unity, like when you sit there and put a 3D camera with the Oculus, it's automatically smooth in there. And of course, when you've got any kind of movement, whether you're in a third-person, first-person view with a human, or whether you're in a cockpit, everything you do with the control, is definitely going to make you queasy the moment you're kind of involved into it. Of course, there's different tricks to prevent that, but yeah, I think they've got it really easy the moment they start doing a third-person view game. I mean, almost anybody can play those. Not that the other games aren't good. It's just going to be more user-friendly.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, this is total first-person experience. You do seem to be in some sort of helmet, so I imagine that helps to a degree. You're using a gamepad here. You're not using any of the Move controllers. It's not quite as fast-paced looking at the gameplay. It just looks like a, first-person shooter. With low gravity or something.
I want to play it.
Oh yeah, I love all. I want things that aren't safe for VR personally. I want these things that push the limits because I can handle it. And our target market right now is going to be gamers. People that can, I think, for the 80%, I think, deal with not get the simulator sickness that are used to these sort of things.
Yeah, and especially with the new specs, the 90 hertz, the newest headset, I'm sure that'll alleviate those problems in a way. But as it comes down to it, I think the choice for them to show those third-person games and to include the gamepad with the Oculus Rift is a big shift to try to appeal to the more casual markets, that open market, because obviously we're going to buy it no matter what. But if anybody here has bought a Gear VR, not having a gamepad is a big problem, Gunter, for yourself, right? There's like half of the games you can't play because you don't have a gamepad.
Yep.
So to have that included is wonderful.
Definitely.
So it promises a different video. They talk about, and I think they do a good job of talking about the Morpheus titles.
The Japanese game show Hole in the Wall, where you have to make a pose to fit through the hole. It's like that plus Tetris, and you have to kind of use the VR goggles and the perspective shifts to actually see the hole because the block.
Yeah, it takes me. I have to go to the terminal, the chat room, and type cryptic commands in to adjust things.
Spin it around so it fits perfectly.
Oh, I'm so into that game.
Really fun. That one did have a floating controller, but you don't get your hands represented. Next, the kitchen.
So you use the other.
Seated. That's one way you say it models your hands being tied because you're locked in a room.
Which I think we'll see a lot of if you're using DualShocks and they're modeling hands.
And that was interesting because you're abstracting hands being tied by holding the controller.
Well, so what they're doing is they're tracking the light bar on the front of the controller, and then using the IMU inside the controller, and using their knowledge of human skeleton and anatomy to figure out where your elbows and stuff are. It works out okay most of the time, but when it goes wrong, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, so the elbows do move around weird.
Yeah.
Not exactly how your elbows would move. It was a horror demo, lots of horror demos. The monster comes from behind.
I found that one, especially in the dark room, was a little bit, it was the least good looking of the demos that we saw today. They were also trying for the most photorealism. Yeah. So I think that there's probably some connection there between photorealistic stuff that you're familiar with, versus fantasy